considered photography was when there was a competition in school. So architectural projects are easier for me to come by, so I'm doing that primarily now. And apart from that, I never thought I'd be doing wedding photography. I thought it wouldn't work for me because I'm an introvert. To charge you for it, I have no expectation for myself, so I can't charge you.
What is your
And even
source to learn these aspects? Like, I mean, because these are something that you can't get easily, right? How to put the terms and
yeah,
conditions. Even I have social media. I have my Instagram page, but the technicalities that you tell, I am like, oh my God, what am I doing?
you're a
Like,
better social media person than me. I'm more of a technical photographer.
welcome everybody. So now we have Vignesh as a guest. He is basically an architect, my classmate, architect turned photographer now, and he have also explored earth architecture in Bangalore. So Vignesh, please tell about your journey.
Yeah, hi everyone. Yeah, so like Kavin mentioned, both of us studied together in Anna University, and yeah, we got to know each other at that time. And a little bit more about myself. I grew up in Qatar. I did my schooling entirely over there. Then I came to Chennai for studying in college, and I've been in India since then. I worked in Bangalore for a couple of years, and I moved back to Chennai during the beginning of the pandemic, and I started freelancing as a photographer after somewhere in the middle of the pandemic. Yeah.
Now,
Considered photography was when there was a competition in school. This was like when I was in sixth or seventh, I think.
okay.
It was about that competition also was about environment friendly environment friendly themed photography. Oh yeah.
So much.
Oh yeah, I still actually I'm suddenly realizing that.
Okay.
So I did a lot of very uh, not so. It's a little funny stuff actually.
Okay.
That camera that I used for that was a film camera. That was the only time I think I used a film camera.
Oh, that
And
camera.
I didn't. Yeah, it was like not even a DSLR. It was like a fixed lens and a travel kind of film camera. And I didn't know how the film worked actually. So my dad just gave me one roll and he just gave the camera to me. And he just told me how to click the picture. That's it. I did not operate the roll, remove it or anything and all. So I went out and I was taking photos, and the photos I was taking also was like people throwing stones at trees, or like trying to remove a bird's nest, or someone like just open a pipe and show that they're wasting water, and you have to be conscious about that.
Oh my
So
God.
little, yeah, little approach to it, but yeah. But the worst part was I actually took a lot of decent pictures, and even the stone throwing and all, right? It was very difficult to time, like with an old camera. If you have to time the person throwing the stone and capture the stone in that frame, it's very difficult.
Yeah.
Right now you can. So what I did was I tied a thread to the stone. I hung it from one branch and made it get pose the stone.
Oh, you started experimentation there only.
Yeah. But then at the end of it, I think the roll finished and I didn't realize it got completed. I thought the camera stopped functioning and I ended up opening the roll. So all the photos got ruined because if you open the roll, they get exposed to light and the negatives get ruined. I didn't know that. So I had just like one or two usable photographs from that.
Okay.
So yeah, basically, so photography was something that I was always into since childhood.
Okay.
And during college, I was just doing like mobile phone photography, not very seriously or anything. And after going to Andhre, we went to visit one of his well-known projects that he was also very proud of because he was completely involved in it. So that the project they had planned to do a proper photo shoot for it. And there were like three photographers that came to shoot it over like 2 or 3 months period. And the first photographer, they weren't like very happy with the works. Because of that, they hired a second photographer. But the third photographer came from the magazine side. So it coincidentally happened to be that many photographers just for one project. And all I was able to witness all of that, and work with them, just assist them in carrying around stuff and see how they were working and all that.
Oh,
So that was the first time I kind of got introduced to architectural photography.
oh, okay.
I was
So you kind of
like
assist them at your first step. You kind of assist these photographers who did architecture photography.
I assisted just them for that specific project because they
Okay.
had come.
Mm-hmm.
So the architect was like nice enough. He introduced me to them and he told that he's interested in photography. But because all those photographers came for the shoot, I had taken some pictures when I had visited the site, Chuma, just to
Oh,
know about it. So I had shown those photos in the office, and they told it's really nice. And because of that, the architect, the principal architect, he introduced me to all these photographers and told that I'm interested. And so they told, okay, just do whatever you want. I mean, you can just observe us.
that is the
It was
fun part,
really like
right?
a
When our office give us camera, they give some kind of freedom to do whatever you want to do. We'll be like joyfully doing things.
yeah. No, it wasn't like a responsibility. It was like, yeah, you
Ah,
can do whatever, just help. So
explore.
I wasn't like really obligated to deliver anything, but at the
Ah,
time it was a fun experience.
very nice. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Then
then
after that,
you, from there, you developed your profile, right?
yeah. So after that project, along with the photographers, also I shot some photos, and the architect used some of the photos when he published them on his Facebook page. And
Okay.
after that, he told me like he had started a separate furniture division in the firm, and he asked
Ah,
me if I'd be interested in handling it and doing the photos of the finished furniture and all. So I was
yeah.
like, yeah, of course, I'd definitely be interested in that. And again, so there was no set expectation from them, and there was no set deliverables from me. It was just like, if you're interested, you do. If I'm interested, I'll do. So there was just like, okay, fine. Thought
Experimenting.
figure everything.
You have like beautiful furnitures, so you just have to
Yeah,
experiment. Nice.
yeah, and absolutely no limits. Like he didn't tell me I wanted like in a stage background. I did whatever I felt like doing, and
Mm.
it turned out to be quite usable and nice. And that's how I developed my product portfolio. And
Okay.
consequently, towards like 2 years or 2.5 years after, he took me to one of the weekend cottage projects near Gokarna.
Oh, okay.
And just told that, and that also he hadn't informed me properly. He just told me one day, today evening, pack your bags. We're going to go for a 2 day trip to that project, and just take your camera also. So I assumed I was going to go have a look for the furniture related works. I didn't. I assumed it. He didn't verbally like tell me that we are going for a certain purpose. And after going there, he's like, okay, fine, go take photos of the project. I go take photos. I don't remember what he told exactly, but I assumed I was going to have to take the photos of the furniture because that's what he had given me as a work
Huh.
earlier. And he's like, photograph the project, also set it up properly, and take your time and photograph it. I think, oh, okay,
Okay.
this is nice.
But I remember
And,
from then only you used to produce like really good, outstanding photographs. There must be some kind of homework or some kind of books that you read, or you. I think you are more towards the technical side. Some kind of homework you do, because I also do photography, but not to extent of yours. So what is the
I don't.
homework behind that?
At that point, at least when I was in that firm, I don't think I did homework for photography.
Okay.
Uh, I only editing I was learning at that stage, Lightroom. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from that, camera, I was learning astrophotography at that point before joining the firm. I tried
Oh,
to do that in the projects also, but it didn't pan out so well.
okay.
But during, I don't think I really did too much homework because when I went and when those photographers had come right for the project,
Huh.
I was like very excited. Whatever photos I had produced, I was like, I took it to them on my phone and I was like, oh, what do you think of it? I want to
Oh
be
yeah, that happens,
validated.
right? We'll show like these are my pictures.
Yeah, I wanted to know their opinion. And
Oh,
all of them, like, one of them was like, yeah, it's good. You seem to have an eye for frames. Yeah, okay. Like I was expecting more. I was expecting them to give some critical feedback in terms of composition or editing, but he simply told like photography is basically having a creative eye for frames, and beyond that, that's all that matters at the end of the day. Everyone's work will be different, but it's all about how you envision everything. So I kind of put off at that point. But then later on, after many years, I realized that actually a lot of photographers on YouTube and many platforms, that's what they say, the camera, they keep saying the camera doesn't matter, which is actually kind of rubbish. Camera matters a lot. But ultimately, you can have the best of technology and editing knowledge, but if you don't have that creative eye for details or things, then fundamentally you won't be able to.
I think that's what they mean by saying that, like,
in
a different way they say that, but that doesn't mean you can always photograph with mobile and become a photographer. I don't think that. Cool.
So I think with respect to learning or doing homework, I started doing it after I left that firm. So I used to, in between and all, I had learned the basics of editing before joining that firm. So like you have to shoot in RAW to like extract all the maximum amount of information you can while editing, and certain shooting techniques for low light situations and stuff. But spatial photography and all, I had no idea that I was even doing spatial photography to learn about that specifically. I just did whatever I felt like, and I moved the hand with it. But after leaving the firm, I started researching about multiple exposures, blending HDR images, and how to lots of editing techniques I learned afterwards. And I realized that's when actually I kind of realized that I should probably consider this more seriously than architecture also, because generally like whenever I was going to YouTube, I was always looking at filmmakers videos of photographers pages, all those kind of channels only I was consuming a lot. And at one point it hit me like, why am I not searching as much stuff about architecture? Why am I searching everything about photography? Then it kind of dawned on me probably that I'm more interested in photography than architecture itself.
So it's for you also, it's kind of an unconscious journey towards something creative but not architecture.
Yeah. It's just that I wasn't aware that photography is a career choice, and these are the ways that you can make a living out of this profession. I wasn't aware of it, so because of that, I didn't take that decision earlier on. If I had known, probably I might have tried it out sooner.
Okay, so I mean, when was that spark of photography as a career? Like, when did that happen? Maybe the first project or someone offered you, or you bought a new camera. I mean, how does that started?
After I left that Bangalore firm, I was trying to freelance. Nothing was working out. I wasn't having any source of income. Then I was like, okay, fine, all routes are exhausted. We better go back to some firm or do some job. So at that point, I thought, okay, fine, no more experimenting. We need to go to a big firm to learn something different. At least different kind of architecture, and earn a little bit more with the experience that I've built. So I applied to 100 Hands and many other firms and got into 100 Hands. But just when I was applying to that, I started getting unexpected opportunities for photography. I had given out a lot of pitches to many friends many months before that, like if you completed projects, or if in your firm if you want to photograph any completed projects, you can let me know.
So independently you mailed them. You used to send mails seeking work.
No, those people that you no. This wasn't like reaching out to people I didn't know at that point. This was all to people I knew directly. And at that point in Jan, I think Ashna was the first one. She told me that she wanted to photograph her own house. She had redone the interiors. I said, okay, of course, I'm glad I would. And we spent a weekend shooting. And that was the first time I tried out videography a little more seriously.
Okay.
Videos, I had done Chuma only for one trip. I had gone to Himalayas after college. After
Oh
that, I
yeah, I
hadn't
remember
done
that
much.
video. Yeah.
Yeah, so after that, I hadn't done videography at all. So I thought architecture also I could just experiment. Uh, and
Huh.
after that, all my previous friends from undergrad, so she forced me into doing the wedding photography for her sister.
Hmm.
She's like, you don't have it. You are doing the photography, you're traveling, you're coming in doing it. I was like, okay, fine, and I don't want to charge you for it. I have no expectation for myself, so I can't charge you in such situations. And she's like, no, it's basically a wedding, so you shouldn't think too much about this. Already budgeted for, so you just charge whatever you have to. I was like, okay, fine. If she is okay to pay, then why should I not? Why should I
Yeah,
think?
that is a client, then why not?
Yeah, but then morally, I was like, I don't know what my deliverables are because I haven't done it before, so I felt a little uncertain about that. But then I was like, okay, fine, we'll send a formal quotation or an invoice and then we'll see. So yeah, so she basically tricked me into doing that shoot for her sister, and yeah, and the wedding video I did for Harini, which was very unexpected. That they had gotten this small DJ Osmo Pocket,
Huh.
small uh, camera with a gimbal. That my dad's company had bought it and he sent it over to me because he had no use for it. And
Hmm.
exactly on the day of the wedding, I had got it and I thought I'll Chuma take videos and
Experimenting again.
clip it together. Yeah, and it turned out to be really good. And
It was
Harini
really
told
beautiful.
that,
I've seen that. Yeah.
yeah, and what was really rewarding at the end of that was she told that her parents and her in-laws enjoyed my videos so much more than the people that they hired to do the video
Oh.
for. And that the in-laws used to keep watching it like every morning, like at least the week immediately after the wedding got over, they were repeatedly viewing that video. Like,
Very nice.
okay, so yeah, then I was thinking about the Joker statement about probably I should charge, make money out of what I'm good at doing.
Uh,
Yeah,
so you feel it's
yeah. So that
creatively
was
more rewarding as such, like more than architecture.
that's the thing. So architecture is definitely rewarding in terms of creative output, but if you get the opportunity to be creative, which is
Exactly.
very there.
But photography
So
is
for us,
anyway creative. Like it's anyway
exactly. So
creative. People can't force you to be less creative and stuff.
so it's the same thing like photography also. If I were to go to work for like a big production studio or something, and there I was sitting and doing like computer work or assisting work and all, I wouldn't enjoy it for sure.
Hmm.
So here
True.
again, because I'm the one doing everything, and uh, another thing different between a major difference between architecture and photography is architecture is a very long term project. If
Process.
you have to do an interior project, also it takes a minimum of 3 to 4 months for a house. But
Yeah.
architectural photography or any photography is just days, number of days, including editing, it's maximum number of weeks.
Hmm.
So you get to build your portfolio much faster with photography than architecture.
True.
If you get the initial set of
Hmm.
works for you. But in terms
Hmm.
of creativity, I wouldn't say that this is better over the other. If the opportunity to be creative is there in both are actually really important.
Okay. So from then on, you started freelancing, right? From then, the freelancing journey starts. And how does freelancing feels like?
Yeah.
What are the
So,
struggles of being a freelancer? How are you getting your bills done?
yeah. So freelancing is a whole different game that no one is really prepared for for the
After
initial.
exploring all the creativity and stuff, you have to learn more again.
Yeah,
Like
we had to learn a whole different set of skills,
true.
talking to clients and like putting up with their requests and managing their expectations and
Hmm.
what you deliver.
Hmm.
Yeah, there's and with India and being any creative field, there's always higher expectation for little reward. Uh, yeah, but photography wise, for me, the biggest challenge was setting my terms and conditions actually,
True. Huh.
because I wasn't aware I was supposed to do that initially. But after learning about other freelance photographers and other reputed photographers, also I learned that I should probably have my own terms and conditions about like how
Hmm.
many photos I deliver at the end of the project, how many I will edit, and how long I will spend on site for shooting, how many
Hmm.
days on kind of charges for each kind of work.
True.
All this I was completely unaware about initially. Then I started learning about these aspects and
Hmm.
started implementing them one by one.
What is your
And even
source to learn these aspects? Like, I mean, because these are something that you can't get easily, right? How to put the terms and conditions
it's
and
very difficult to come across this information. There's no matter how much you take, everyone will give a very ambiguous kind of advice to you. It's nothing that you can like, okay, yeah, this is what I have to do. That kind of an advice, it's very rare to get.
hmm.
Uh, so there's one website called AP Almanac. It's an architectural photographer's website by an
Hmm.
architectural photographer. So
Okay.
in that, he has a lot of information about free like charges and copyrights
Wow.
and all those kind of information.
Okay.
So his is mostly from a Western context, and he specifies that also. It varies from country to country, the kind of works and deliverables and all. And
Okay.
afterwards, after I started like kind of taking architecture photography more seriously,
Hmm.
during the pandemic, a Facebook page was started for architectural and interior photographers. So
Hmm.
where across India, different photographers joined that page and started sharing their experiences and feedback regarding any doubts.
Hmm.
So in that, I asked them how much people charge, like how much, what kind of copyrights should we give to the clients. Yeah, and then everyone helped everyone out.
Okay. And you also do courses, right? Photography courses or no? You do
I've
some
never
online
done.
course, isn't it so?
I learn everything now about photography from YouTube.
Oh, okay. YouTube.
Yeah, I've
Okay.
tried. I tried subscribing to Skillshare also for that
Uh-huh.
1 month free subscription, but I did not utilize even that free subscription because so this is what I feel about learning any skills. That after that, comparing or like reflecting about my journey of learning photography, I realized I feel that if you want to learn any particular subject, just the informations are there on the internet. You just have to seek it and filter it out. That's the biggest challenge. But
Hmm.
you can do that for free. So why would you pay for it?
Okay.
And another thing is like you can search specifically what you need to know. Like
Uh,
if I'm using my camera and
huh.
if there's a particular technical challenge that I'm facing, or if I've done a shoot for a project and there's a certain kind of editing that I'm struggling to do, I
Hmm.
search that kind of problems and it takes a lot of time. It actually, those kind of searches, I don't get the immediate results that I'm looking
Results.
for. But then I'm with the kind of different, I keep rewording the search lines and all, and then I end up somehow landing
Finding
on the kind of solution that I need.
that itself is an art, right? Because every time when I try to see something, I get distracted and I always get something else from what I exactly want, and it
Yeah,
becomes
that also
very
happens.
hard
Yeah,
for
yeah.
me.
Yeah.
A
The YouTube is very challenging that way. You'll end up searching for one video and you'll be
lot more
after
interesting
letting
videos will come, and then you will end up seeing, I mean, end up not
yeah,
seeing what
yeah.
you actually want. Okay.
That happens. That happens. That's all part of it.
Okay. So, I mean, what would be the uh, like a tips or something that you give to someone who is getting into photography, like as a freelancer, or how can they build their profile? Like even social media also, you have like even I have social media. I have my Instagram page, but the technicalities that you tell, I am like, oh my god, what am I doing?
You're a
Like that.
better social media person than me. I'm more of a technical photographer than
I am social
social
media,
media.
but you are more of technical side of it, which I am. That doesn't, I'm very techno challenged. So, what are the tips that you can give with technicality of photography, freelancing, and also social media?
That's a lot. Okay, with respect to photography, I don't know really. Like whatever you're interested in, just keep exploring. It's the
Ah,
best way to know what you're interested in. Because
true.
even right now for me also, I don't know what I'm interested in, so I started doing everything. Like I
Hmm.
didn't limit myself to any genre of photography. I've been since I'm an architect, architectural projects are easier for me to come by, so I'm doing that primarily now. And apart from
Okay.
that, I never thought I'd be doing wedding photography. I thought it wouldn't work for me because I'm an introvert. But I realized after doing one shoot that actually it is in a way good for an introvert because you don't have to be involved directly with any of the people. You just have to capture the best
That's
moments
actually
for them in
true.
a
Yeah, that's true. You don't have to teamwork and get the result. You can just
yeah,
do.
exactly. You don't have to
That is, even for me with photography, that is what is more easy, because what I study, what I want to create, I will do myself. I don't have to communicate to different people and get things done, which is very difficult for me.
yeah. Yeah, that's what. So involving with a subject or a person for portrait photography and all is something I don't think I can do at least for the immediate future. So because of that, I was always averse to wedding photography. But then candid wedding photography is very easy for an introvert to do. That's what I realized.
Oh, okay.
Um, yeah. So basically, I just experiment and keep exploring with whatever kind of work that you're interested in and just think about what kind of stuff that you're consuming in terms of social media or whether on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook, what you keep constantly looking at. That's
Oh,
the kind of content
that
that
is
you're
where you can
gravitating
plot
to.
your passion towards, right? Is it what you're saying?
Yeah, yeah. That's how I realized that I am that interested in
More.
photography.
Oh, okay, cool. But and then it's also like what kind of demand that is there in the market, because architecture is also something that we like, because there is no demand for architects now. Maybe it doesn't pay to
No,
sustain the.
oh, no, architecture photography also is kind of getting saturated right now compared to even for me itself. It's kind of challenging to develop a name for myself because there are a lot of other competitors out there, a lot of
Hmm.
freelancers,
Hmm.
and now because of, like cameras are not affordable, but they're a lot more common these days than before.
True.
So and again, with number of architects not getting architectural jobs, people who had similar passions like me with photography, they are gravitating towards architectural photography.
Oh,
So yeah, there are many people similar to me,
okay.
and creating a name for myself has been a challenge. So I don't really know if I can give tips for someone else.
I mean, in the whole circle, you seem to be doing really good work. So there must be something that is in the bag.
Yeah, I don't know how to. What is in the bag because I never really looked at the bag.
Because the process is more
Uh,
organic. You are like, when someone asks me some method questions, I am also like, don't know. I didn't plan anything. It's kind of.
Yeah, because even now, like if I go for shoots and I'm doing work, no, uh, it doesn't feel very technical or like listed or anything.
Okay.
Um, I mean, if I go to house for a shoot, I know that all the like I'll ask them what all spaces they need.
Hmm.
I don't know. There's not like real. Uh,
That's okay.
I guess it's just like I've just consumed the kind of information. I don't know how to put it out in a very neat way or anything.
Okay. 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 The process is quite messy all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's a learning process. At any stage, any creative field, it's a learning process. So
True.
just keep doing work. Doing the work is the most important part.
Hmm.
Thinking about doing the work and not doing it is something that will never work. So even if
True.
you want like experiment with food photography or anything, don't say like, don't think about the restrictions or the limitations that you have. Like, I don't have a great house, or I don't have a great subject or a great background to photograph. That is not the primary
Goal.
priority, at least in the initial stage. The initial stage is the learning of it. Actually, you need to have technical skill sets for photography, even for a basic beginner. So learn those aspects and then experiment with whatever is available, and then try to build a portfolio by reaching out to people you know. Work. It is very difficult to like land the first project that you're going to work for, and you'll make money out of that project. That is very very unlikely. So you will most likely have to do like the
Few
initial
free
projects
works.
for free. Yeah, you will have to. Like for me also, like whatever I did in Nandagiri was it was unpaid work only.
True.
But then the projects were like really great projects, rare projects
So
which I
true.
got to shoot. That's how I built my portfolio. The initial, and I even shot like Vaishali's house when I had visited her.
Yeah.
So whatever opportunity I got, I just utilized that and built my portfolio from that. And at the end of the day, when you find a client who's willing to pay you to do a job, they want to see how you will produce it. What is the expectation they can have from you? So having a portfolio for that job is essential. So you can't keep sitting and thinking that I'll do it when they ask me. You'll have
True.
to slowly keep building.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's an interesting note. Thanks. I think with this, is there anything that you want to say other than? I think I've took a lot of your,
I don't
backward.
know. It felt like a lot of random talk. I don't know how it is useful or like how many people will listen to
No,
the
I think it will be
conversation.
useful for someone who is looking for this shift from architecture to photography or from some other field to photography. Those, those tips and back work behind it. And I think also the investment part, you have done quite a lot of investment in photography also.
Yeah. So whatever savings that I made in both my funds, I've spent it on my gear right now.
True.
So in terms of a financial business perspective, I'm currently at a loss only. It'll take time for me to
True.
make back my investment.
Ah,
Yeah.
that's a very important
Yeah.
lesson then.
So
Yeah.
of course.
We
Yeah.
also need
Don't
to
think that.
invest things on passion.
Yeah, for sure. No, the investment choice also has to be thought out.
Little,
It can't be rushed in.
maybe calculative, little more calculative.
Yeah.
Instead of just
You need
okay,
to be
okay,
sure.
chalo, my passion is this. I will spend some in it, kinds.
Yeah, have a basic plan, like how you're going to make back that investment eventually. Or
Okay.
if you an easier way to think of it is, if you're going to make that investment, you should be sure, like very sure that you're going to follow through to make back that money. So that's kind of making the shift. Is the investment is itself the shift.
Okay. So investment is where you have to stick towards that for some more time.
Yeah, because after I bought the camera and lenses and all, I couldn't make back that money with
Can't just switch
architectural
now.
jobs. Yeah, I
True,
have
true,
to
true.
make money through photography.
I get that. Thank you, Vignesh. I think it's a very, very
Not at
interesting,
all.
lot of lessons we have got. It's not a very fun interview, but it's like more of technical and struggle of a
Yeah.
filmmaker and more architecture and photography, technical stuff. Thanks for your time. It's very, very, it's very nice having you on the.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me. I
Thank
never
you.
thought that I'd be getting like a podcast or an interview and all at any time. Yeah, useful to some. At least it was useful for one or two people also.
Sure,
Yeah,
sure,
it's
sure. It
good
should be. It
enough.
must be, because it's a very unique journey, which not. It's not very typical journey. So obviously, it's going to be useful for people who is trying something like this.
Yeah. No worries.
Thank you. See you then.